The galactic Senate chamber fell into a silence so profound that even the quantum hum of the translation matrices seemed to pause. 10,000 species, representatives from across spiral arms and nebular clusters, watched as David Richards dragged Emperor Zalthun across the polished obsidian floor. By the ceremonial chains that had once symbolized the Zephyrian Empire's absolute dominion, the chains clinked with each pull. That sound metal against stone echoed through halls designed to amplify the voices of power. Now they amplified humiliation. David's face was expressionless, carved from the same determination that had driven humanity to survive the burning of Earth, the siege of Mars, and the long winter of Europa. Behind him, Aliana Chen stood at attention, her hand resting on the plasma rifle slung across her tactical suit. Her dark eyes swept the chamber, calculating threats, measuring distances, watching for the slightest movement that might signal intervention. There would be no intervention. Emperor Zalthun had ruled the Zephyrian Empire for 300 standard cycles. His species lived for millennia, and he had spent centuries constructing an edifice of fear so complete that entire civilizations would extinguish their own stars rather than face his wrath. The Zephyrians were conquerors, genetically engineered for warfare. Their exoskeletons capable of withstanding pressure that would liquefy most organic matter. They had crushed the Methodian collective, absorbed the singing worlds, and reduced the proud Kathrani to a servitor species in less than a generation. Then they had made the mistake of attacking Earth. The war had lasted 7 years. 7 years of brutality that redefined the word across every known language. The Zephyrians had come expecting capitulation after the first bombardment. Humanity answered with innovations born from desperation, weaponized singularities, neural plague swarms, ships that could fold space and fire through dimensional fractures. When the Zephyrians adapted, humanity adapted faster. When they brought overwhelming force, humans brought guerrilla tactics learned from 10,000 years of fighting themselves. David had been there for all of it. Lieutenant, then captain, then admiral, and finally general. He'd commanded the defense of the Titan yards, held the Cooper line against odds that made tactical computers shut down from paradox errors, and led the counteroffensive that shattered the Zephyrian Third Fleet at Proxima. But this moment wasn't about tactics. The Senate had convened to hear the Emperor's formal surrender, to witness the transfer of territorial claims, to observe the proper protocols that civilized species followed when concluding conflicts. The Galactic Council had spent 3 months arranging the ceremony, ensuring every cultural sensitivity was observed, every diplomatic courtesy extended. David had other plans. The human delegation will present the Emperor with dignity. The Council Arbiter had insisted that morning. The Arbiter was a Celestini, a species so ancient they remembered when the current galaxy was still forming. This is not a place for vengeance. David had looked at the Arbiter with eyes that had seen too much. This isn't vengeance, he'd said quietly. This is a lesson. Now, in the center of the Senate floor, David stopped. The Emperor lay sprawled before him, the chains pooled around his segmented form. Zalthun's mandibles clicked in rapid patterns, the Zephyrian equivalent of rage-filled cursing. His compound eyes, each facet reflecting the thousands of spectators, fixed on David with pure hatred. "You disgrace yourself, human," the Emperor hissed through his translator implant. "The galaxy will remember this barbarism." David crouched down, bringing himself to the Emperor's level. When he spoke, his voice was soft, but the chamber's acoustics carried every word to every corner, every recording device, every live transmission broadcasting across 100 billion worlds. "The galaxy will remember that you ordered the orbital bombardment of Beijing," David said. 300 million dead in 30 minutes. "The galaxy will remember that you used biological weapons on the Antarctic settlements, men, women, and children dissolved from the inside out while they screamed for help that never came." He stood, pulling the chains taut. "You want dignity?" David's voice hardened. "My daughter wanted dignity when your soldiers used her school as a tactical demonstration. She was 8 years old." Aliana's hand tightened on her weapon. She knew about David's daughter. Everyone in the human fleet knew. It was why they followed him through hell itself. Why they'd fought when every tactical assessment said retreat. Why they'd won when the galaxy had written them off as another conquered species. The council will protest, Zalthun spat. They will censure your species, isolate you, and force sanctions. Let them. David resumed walking, pulling the Emperor behind him. We didn't ask to join this galaxy's games. We were happy exploring our own system, reaching out peacefully. You came to us. You decided humanity would be easy prey. The Senate chamber remained frozen. The Methodian representative had tears flowing from her optical clusters. Her people understood this moment viscously. The Kethrani delegation sat with heads bowed, mandibles clicking in what might have been prayers or might have been suppressed cheers. David reached the center of the chamber, directly beneath the holographic projection of the galactic seal. He stopped and turned to face the assembled Senate. Humanity seeks no empire, he announced. We want no tribute, no subjugation, no vassals. But let this moment be recorded in every archive, taught in every academy, remembered by every species that looks at the stars and dreams of conquest. He dropped the chains with a sound like thunder. We will not be prey. We will not be victims. And if you come for us with thoughts of domination, we will drag you through whatever halls you hold sacred until you understand. Humanity will fight. We will adapt. We will survive. And we will win. Zalthun lay motionless now, the fight finally gone from him. David turned and walked toward the exit, Aliana falling into step beside him. That was quite a speech, she murmured. Wasn't a speech, David replied. It was a warning. Behind them, the Senate chamber slowly came back to life, voices rising in debate, outrage, approval, fear. But David didn't look back. He'd delivered his message. How the galaxy chose to receive it was their concern. As they exited into the corridor, Aliana allowed herself a small smile. Think they'll listen? David considered that for a moment, thinking of his daughter, of Earth's scars, of the 7 years that had aged him 7 lifetimes. They will now, he said. They will now. The galaxy had watched in silence. Now it would remember.